Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will learn few SQL queries on date functions which are frequently asked in the interviews. So for this I'm going to use the sample superstore data which I have loaded in my SQL database. So we are going to see few questions on difference in days, difference in weeks, and extract of the year, the orders placed in the last n days, formatting the date, how many orders were placed in the quarter, the current month, in the weekends, and so on. So let's get started. So I'm going to minimize this one, and this is my SQL, my SQL command line prompt. So I'll enter with my password, which is root db. Okay, so we'll go back to the presentation and see what questions we are going to discuss and solve today. Okay, so the first question being, so let me paste this first question on the in the SQL. So the query is asking, find the difference or to calculate the difference in days between order date and ship date. So so for this, I'm going to use command called select order ID. So we are going to use the Datediff function here, Datediff ship date, comma order date as days as ship days or something like that from orders. I'll limit the query to 20 because it may run up to several thousands. I don't want that. Okay. When we write this query, which says the select order ID, this is the order ID and date difference between the ship date and the order date as the ship days from orders. So let's improve this query by adding what's the ship date and what's the order date. Order date, ship date, and now we'll find the date difference. Okay, so now we can see the dates between these two is given in this the result column, which is ship days. So 24th minus 17 is 7, 16 minus 13 is 3, and so on. So you're seeing basically the number of days between the ship date and the order date. Okay, so by using the date function, by default it will give the outcome is in days, number of days. So that's about this query. So let's move on to the second query, which says calculate the difference in weeks. Okay, so this is looking for the weeks actually. So the first one being in days, so the second one is asking in similar difference in the number of weeks. So for this we are going to use a different function, which is select order ID, order date, ship date. So here we are going to introduce the new date function, which is timestamp diff. So here we need to give the interval, which is a week in our case, and the order date, ship date, as we'll name it as again ship days, something like that ship days from orders, and I'm limiting this again to just 20. So we will see what will the result be. Okay, there seems some syntax error. Orders, so it is orders. Okay, cool. So as we see here, wherever it is, it's a week. Okay, so at least it should have 7 days. It will show one or more, and since the days are less than 7, it is showing as 0. So there is no decimal value in here. It will show the completed week value, which in this case 10th and 2nd. Yeah, there are 8 days, so it has shown 1 week. In here it's 7 days, so it has shown 1 year, one week, sorry. So that's how we can change the interval. So similar query we can use for various intervals like a month. Okay, obviously nothing is prompting up, so let's increase the limit to say 50 if we are able to find some. Okay, so here we are able to see um, some order, one order basically, which is about 2 months, 2 months between the ship date and order date and ship date. So the order received on March 3rd, and it was shipped in the month of May 18th. So there was a gap of more than 2 months, and it is showing us two. So in this way, we can change the interval and run the query. So it can run for a month, a week, month, quarter, year, okay, and a day, obviously. So yeah, that's about this query. So let's jump into this third query, which is extract year from order date. Okay, let me remove this one, or let's run this one. Okay, the query is asking, I'm sorry, wait, not copy this one, let me copy. Oops. Okay, so this is asking, um, this is asking to extract the year from order date. So it should be select, let's give order date. Okay, order date, then extract, or let's see, select order ID, order date, extract, extract year from order date. Okay, so we need to give the date column in here to extract the year from it as you can name it as year from orders, and I'm going to limit again to say 20. So let's see. Okay, cool. So yeah, obviously, so all of these orders belong to 2024. So we got the extract of 2024 in here. Okay, so this how we can extract year, okay, from the given date. And as we have seen, like the previous query, we can change the period for a month. Uh, let's run it. Okay, it gives the month number also, although it says the year, because we have not changed the year uh, alias name. So it still goes and sits in the year column. And we can also do this for a week. We can also do this for the quarter. And we can also, yeah, we have also already done for the year. So this is how we can change the interval and see how it works. So let's jump into the next question, which is orders placed in last 30 days. Okay. Uh, okay, sorry. Okay, so for this, I'm going to use select order date, order ID, order date from orders. So I'm going to use the where clause here to order date is greater than or equal to current date minus interval 30 days, and I'm going to limit it by 20. So let's see how this shows up. Okay, cool. So these are the orders which are placed in the last 30 days. And of course, I'm limited to 20. Maybe it will run up to some few hundreds. So I just don't want to go to that level. So here, the command is doing the order date is greater than current date. So it's going backwards with the interval as 30 days. Okay, so it's going backwards from today. So from today, it's going back to 30 days and giving the set of orders or the count of orders uh, which are placed in the last 30 days. So that's about this command. Let's get into the next question, which says it says us to change the date format. Okay, cool. So to change the date format, we are going to say select date. Okay, so before that, let's say order date. Now we are formatting it by saying date underscore format order date in the format of percentage m percentage y percentage day. Okay, so we are just trying to see how different it will be when we try to format in different formats. Oh, sorry, we need to give the end code as a formatted date from orders, and again I'm using the limit to 20. Let's see if this works. Okay, cool. So here we can see the format is changed to what? To month, to year, and date. So MMYYDD, which is not an usual format, but we just tried how the system or how the query runs by customizing the date for formatting the date. Okay, now let's get into the next question, which is calculate calculate the week number of the for the order date. Okay, so for this I'm going to use select order ID order date, and we are going to use the extract function again. So extract week week from order date as week of order date, something like that, from orders limiting 20. Okay, so cool. So it has given me the week of the year for this order date. So it is going from 32 coming down to 32, 31, 26, 22, 23, 22, 21, and 28, and so on. So this way we can know what week what was the order raised. Okay. So yeah, that's about this query. So let's get into the next set of question, which is asking calculate the quarter of the year. Okay, so for this, I'm going to write calculate. Oh, sorry, select order ID quarter. Okay, quarter of ship date. Okay, so here we are seeing ship date, quarter of ship date as quarter ship date, something like QS from orders limiting to 20. Cool. So actually, so we should have also used the or have the order date as a raw format so we can compare. So this date is falling in Q3, this date is Q3, and so on. So we got, since we have limited to 20, so we got some orders from belonging to quarter two. So that's about this query. Let's get into the next set of query, which is asking the order shipped the current month. Okay. Okay. So for this, I'm going to say select order ID, order date from orders where order date equals to current date, which is today, minus interval as 30 day limit 20. See, these are the orders I could limit to 20, which are raised in last 30 days from today going backwards. So yeah, that's about this query. So let's get into the next query, which is orders placed in the weekend. So this is the tricky one. So let's try to solve it. Okay. So how do we know what orders are raised on weekend? So for this, I'm going to use select order ID, order date, and day of week of order date, which will give me the day of the week. So it starts from Sunday as 1 and Saturday as 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from starting from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Monday is 2, Tuesday is 3, Wednesday is 3, and so on up till Saturday, which is 7. So day of week as a weekday, something like that, from orders. Okay, I need to use a where clause, where date of week of order date is in. Okay, so I'm using the in function here in 1 comma 7. So, and I'm going to limit this by again 20. I'll explain you once it runs. Okay, date of day of week. Oh, I'm sorry, so it should be day of week, not the date of week. Sorry for that. Okay, cool. So here we are finding the days of week for each of the order. So 17th of August is a Saturday, okay, and 9th of June is a Sunday, and so on. Um, so since I have asked the query to pass only the Saturday and Sunday orders and limiting 20, so it has only given the 1 and 7 as a weekdays. So we can run this command to know on what day the order was raised. So if it's required in the real world. Okay, so let's jump into the next question. Okay, it is similar to the previous query, which is asking the orders on a Monday. So for this, I'm going to write select order ID, order date, day of week of order date, from orders, where where day of week order date equal to 2. 2 is Monday, right? So, and limit to 20. So all these orders are raised on a Monday. Okay, so on a Monday, which is 29th of July, 22nd of August, and so on. So as we can see here, all this orders are raised on a Monday. So that's about this query. So let's jump into the last query, which is asking orders placed in the last quarter. Okay, for this, I'm going to write select order ID, order date, from orders. I'm going to use a where clause, where order date greater than equal to current date minus interval as 1 quarter, and limiting by 20 as usual. Uh, okay, somewhere we okay. So we can also add the quarter to know the quarter. So like quarter of order date um, as a QO, just to see, um, just to see the quarter number. Okay, so the quarter, so the current quarter, which is Q3, all the orders limiting by 20 is kind of generated by writing this query. So that's about this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you learned something new, please like and share, subscribe my channel. Thank you.